Good morning, most amazing artists.
Good morning, Miss Lowe.
We are going to do a tomato plant. So we're going to do the whole thing from the stems to the leaves to the roots. So you start with one stem that comes up, and then the tomato plant has like a double branch kind of where it comes up like this, and on this side it makes like a V-type branch. And then off of one of these you might have 4 or 5 little tomatoes. So we're going to do a tomato, and then another tomato, and a tomato, and maybe one right here. Hold on, we'll do questions in a second. And then here, maybe we'll do a 5th one. So these could all be different colors. You could have red, then one that's like orange and red, almost ready to be done, and then a yellow, red, and then maybe a green one. On the top where they connect to the stem, they're gonna have 3 little prongs, kind of like this. 1, at least 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That one you might not see because it might be turned away. 1, 2, 3. And then maybe we'll just show a little bit of it right there. So you've got the tomato, actual tomato, but then the leaves. What do the leaves look like? So the leaves go off of each branch. So you've got one here, maybe one here, and then one at the tip. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts at least. So I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit more slow. So let's take one of those parts. It's going to start with a triangle, and then a triangle on both sides, and then a triangle under that, like this. Let's do it again. So triangle, triangle on one side, triangle under, and triangle under. And then they have lines in them, and then there's a line that goes to each tip. So a line to the tip, and then a line to the sides, to each side. The tomato plant also has some little tomato leaves that are not fully developed, that might look like this until they get ready. And it might have some that are kind of like in between developed. So here's one that might be a little bit smaller than that one with a triangle, smaller triangles on the side, and smaller triangles under. And that one's, just not quite as developed as that one. You might have some places that the leaves are not quite open yet, so they might just look kind of like this with a parenthesis and another parenthesis, or they might have a little bit of the jagged edge showing, because they have that more like not smooth but jagged edge. The stem starts a little bit thicker at the bottom, and then it gets thinner as it gets to the top. And when you get to the top, it might just be leaves. So we might have like 3 here that look just like this. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and do that triangle, 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 triangle. And then here, triangle, 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 and then kind of connect them all. You can connect them with like a wobbly line or a straight line. Triangle, 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 and then connect them all. I'm kind of like making my hand when I'm doing this like a little bit wobbly. 1, 2, 3. Those are going to be 3 leaves here. So triangle, 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 and I'm going to go really kind of wobbly as I'm connecting it, like almost like I don't really have that much control over it, because it's just going wobble, 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 scribble, scribble, scribble. So if I wanted to do this one, I could flip the page over like this and do it upside down so that I have one going a different direction. So triangle, 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 and then connecting them. The tomatoes, to make the tomatoes look more rounded, I'm going to go darker on the edge and lighter on the inside. But if you're doing it with watercolor or gouache, it might be better just to go ahead and do it with the gouache right away and do the value with the gouache instead of with something else. So we've got different colors here. So if I put some red here for the tomatoes, that's kind of more of an orangey red. vermilion red. Usually that's more red. Get some water, get some of the gouache, go around the edges here. And I could add some yellow in here or some orange, more red, more orange. And then I'm gonna make it look rounded by just adding water to the middle. So lighter on the middle by adding water just to the middle. If I wanted it to be kind of like a green tomato, I could add a little bit of green on the edge. Yeah.
My dad was right. I don't know what to do now.
Okay.
I have all the leaves done.
Okay, here. And then let me just finish showing them what to do with the tomato, then I'll show you. So you're going to outline all of these with the green. You can keep drawing leaves too. You can do more leaves. And then fill it in with just the water. Here you go. I want some reds and some greens. Green. Outlining with the red. And if you mix a little bit of the red and the green together, it kind of makes a nice brown. And some of the leaves are brown, so it looks good to have that. Outlining on the edge. This is making it have more value on the outside, which creates the illusion of it being 3D. If you go outside of the lines a little bit, it's okay because we're going to cut them out. So if you paint outside of the lines, that's fine. So look, even if I did this, it would be okay because I'm going to cut it out, right? And you can add more color later. You come in. And then the inside, you want it to be white. Add some more color to the side maybe. And then you can keep adding to your tomato. If you maybe want to add some more tomatoes. Maybe another little cluster of tomatoes. And add some little bits of red or yellow. If it's not quite ripe yet, you could add some yellow. And anytime you go outside of the lines, it's totally okay because we're going to cut these out. So if you don't keep your value and you just make it more watercolor looking, that's okay too. I'm going to add some leaves to this part. These leaves are very much like zigzag lines. So just have fun with it. If you zigzag too much, it's okay. You don't have to cut out certain leaves. Like if I didn't like that, I could just leave it off of the picture. Finish, good. You can put it, oh, good job. Put it on here, put it on this tray. And then, yeah, we'll let it dry and then we'll cut it out.